Everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, so we are going to do another quick movie review. So this time it is going to be Smithereens. It's a film from 1982 directed by Susan Seidelman, who later directed Desperately Seeking Susan, starring Rosanna Arquette and Madonna, and also She Devil, starring Roseanne Barr and Meryl Streep. So, Smithereens is a New York set film about a young woman supposedly trying to navigate her way through the local music scene, and it's starring Susan Berman, Brad Rinn, and Richard Hell, and with music by indie band and the Feelies. So it's a small indie film that wasn't a big hit, but it did get decent critical reviews. So the plot is basically there's this young woman named Rin. She's trying to make it in the New York music scene. She has no obvious talent or connections, and no close friends, and no job. Mostly, she scams her way into clubs and tries to hook up with guys in bands and whatnot. So Rin meets Paul. He's a young man from Montana who's come to New York in his van. And Paul's a nice guy and he seems to have a crush on Rin, but she kind of walks all over him. Rin is more intrigued with Eric, who's a former member of a punk band that put out one record but has since broken up. And Eric talks a big game about business and opportunities, but there's less to him than he wants people to believe. Rin is a pretty aimless person. We see her kind of bouncing around from person to person and mooching off whoever she can until her luck eventually runs out. So now, Smithereens, it is an interesting character piece. Rin is pretty much a selfish jerk, and the movie isn't afraid to show it. And while at the same time providing a little bit of empathy with her, the film doesn't glamorize or justify her behavior. Ultimately, Rin is made to suffer the consequences of her actions, and the acting, while not spectacular, is decent, with Suman Berman being the best. The movie mostly hangs on her ability to balance Rin's narcissism with charisma, and Berman does a pretty good job. Smithereens is a pretty low budget indie film, so we don't get a lot of great set pieces or cityscapes or great cinematography, but that actually kind of works in the movie's favor. The kind of tight shots and cramped compositions help in portraying the grittiness of the environment and increases the intimate feel of the film. It might be interesting to maybe compare this film to another movie called Times Square, which was a Hollywood film released a year or two earlier with very similar themes. So you got sorry, excuse me, rebellious young women living in New York, trying to make it in a new wave rock scene, homelessness, etc. I'd say Times Square, however, was more of a glossy fantasy of that lifestyle, while Smithereens gives a more realistic view. Okay, so wrap it up. Smithereens is a pretty interesting small film about characters and consequences. It's an interesting snapshot of the New York City music scene during a certain time, and it wasn't a blockbuster, but it is an engaging film and worth watching. So I say that's pretty much it. I've got to thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. You have a great day. Thank you. Um, okay.